news, businesses recognized at the annual Chamber of Commerce Awards ceremony. Bahamians encouraged to take advantage of the My Gateway portal. And the oldest home for the age facility needs your assistance. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce hosting its 9th Business Excellence Awards under the theme, A Celebration of Excellence. The prestigious awards are designed to honor outstanding Grand Bahamian businesses and executives. Honorees and guests gathering this afternoon at the Pelican Bay Hotel for the celebration. Our Jamila Mizik was there.
It was a celebration highlighting outstanding businesses throughout the island. The Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce awarding those entities at the 9th Business Excellence Awards. President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Greg LaRota, says this year they received 20 nominations for 6 categories.
This year, despite the pandemic and the falling away of many businesses, we recognize that there are many businesses that would have continued to give excellent service and demonstrate a will to make a difference in our business community. Ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of our motto, to build, to promote, to serve, this demonstration of commitment should not and could not go unrecognized by the Chamber. We are pleased to report that there were others of you who also felt that recognition of these brave and committed business persons should be acknowledged.
Bringing remarks was Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, who pledged to do the people's business, especially on the island of Grand Bahama. And she says one way in doing so is by utilizing public-private partnerships for development.
We must unite and work together to build alliances for success, with the ultimate goal of ensuring that Grand Bahama Island excels. We are all in this together. As a Grand Bahamian and business owner, I can attest to the challenges we have faced over the past decade. The devastation of Hurricane Dorian in 2019, which was closely followed by the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, further strained our already fragile economy.
Minister Moxie thanking the businesses on Grand Bahama for keeping their doors open and persons employed.
To all of the Business Excellence Award nominees, I congratulate you. Remain encouraged and know that your efforts have not gone unnoticed. To the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, thank you for being a staple in the business community and for celebrating excellence for the past 9 years.
Karina Ferguson of Pure Limited won the Developing Entrepreneur of the Year award. The Philanthropic Business Award went to Rebecca and Tim Tibbetts of Flying Fish Restaurant. Company of the Year with 1 to 50 employees went to Coral Vita, and Pelican Bay was awarded the Company of the Year with 51 or more employees. The Outstanding Business of the Year award went to Rodney Deverment and Joseph Joe Darville the Lifetime Achievement Award. Leslie Baptista was the recipient of the President's Award. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
The new executive chairman of the Broadcasting Corporation, Paiswa Forbes, wrapping up his 2-day visit to Grand Bahama with a closed courtesy call to the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie. The chairman sharing his vision for the Broadcasting Corporation going forward and his hopes for a strengthened relationship. The chairman noting that while ZNS aims to inform, educate, and entertain the public, his vision is to raise the standards and introduce new initiatives. To this end, he called on the Minister for Grand Bahama to lend her support. The chairman also taking the time to be a special guest on the David G. Talk Show this morning. And this breaking news just in: a small fire in the International Bazaar in the same location as that massive blaze on Sunday, sparking concern once again. Reports say shortly after 4 this afternoon, a concerned resident saw flames and called the fire department. Firefighters responded and extinguished the blaze. Now, fire officials telling our news team that the debris that remains at the fire scene, along with high winds, may have contributed to the afternoon fire. Now, early Sunday morning, fire crews responded to a major fire in the bazaar where an abandoned building went up in flames. Fire officials were reportedly challenged with adequate water supply. And in other news, members of the Digital Transformation Unit of the Bahamas on Grand Bahama this past weekend, encouraging residents to sign up for the My Gateway online portal as the government continues to push to move more into the digital age. Officials say it is an easier way of making government work for you, and they're hoping that Bahamians take advantage of the service. Jamila Mizik reports.
My Gateway is the government's centralized, secure way to request and pay for a range of online services. My Gateway representative Marital explains how it works.
You go on mygateway.gov.bs, you select the service that you wish to apply for, make the application, pay for the service online, and then you're in a position to receive the output. In order to sign up on My Gateway, you will require your NIB card, that is the blue NIB Smart Card, as well as an email address.
She explains the importance of Bahamians signing up for the service.
And you don't have to jump into your cars and drive over to a government agency. You can select your device of choice, sign up, select your service, pay for your service, and the only time you need to expend gas or fuel is to just pop in and pick it up. So it saves you. It's convenient. It gives you the opportunity to do this 24/7, so you don't have to wait and be confined to the hours of 9 to 5 or the hours of the government agency. You have the opportunity to do it at the convenience and leisure, on your time, at home, while you're at work, when you have a coffee break, etc. And once you receive the notification that the output or the product is ready, then you just pop in, show your QR code, and pick up at the various locations.
And she notes that users can be assured that the data is secure and not sent over to a third-party vendor or website.
This is a homegrown application dealt with by a 100% local Bahamian software development team that is attached.
Now, for more information, you can log on to mygateway.gov.bs. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
The issue surrounding the law on marital rape in the Bahamas has once again become a hot-button topic after it was reported that many respondents of a recent study believe that spouses cannot rape their partners. The findings sparking national debate as government officials as well as many Bahamians are expressing their views. Tonight, we hear from several married women who say no means no. Ramiko Knowles reports.
We teach our children to let their yes be yes and their no to be no.
Section 3 of the Bahamas Sexual Offenses and Domestic Violence Act of 1991 states that rape is the act of any person not under 14 years of age having sexual intercourse with another person who is not their spouse, without the consent of that other person, with consent, which is being extorted by threats or fear of bodily harm, with consent obtained by personating the spouse of that other person, or with consent obtained by false and fraudulent representations as to the nature and quality of the act. Marriage counselor Stephanie Burrows is of the view that if a woman says no, it should be respected.
These days now, in a marriage, a man can leave home for weeks and the wife not hear from him or see him, don't know what he was doing. And if he comes back home in a rage or drunk and is forcing himself on her, then that's a question of whether it is rape.
Burrows highlighting one of the issues that married women are faced with today.
Sometimes we have situations where a husband is encouraging or almost forcing a wife in a position or in a situation that she is not comfortable. And so if she's not comfortable in that position, I think that also should be respected.
But there is a flip side to the conversation. Social worker Brenna Mae Cooper says wives are not the only ones being forced to have sex in marriage.
I'm of the opinion that there are some women who are married, who are bullies in their marriages, who are quote unquote abusers. We have to look at the flip side of it also.
In any case, she says it is wrong.
It's wrong. Anything that you have to take by force, almost like it almost doesn't belong to you. So something that belongs to you, you don't have to, there's no violence in it. There should be no violence in it.
The thought that a man cannot rape his wife or vice versa is a belief handed down from generations, according to Deborah Pratt, who recalls a time she attended a bridal shower and they all were asked to give advice to the bride-to-be.
Was this older lady there, and I recall her saying to the bride-to-be that you are now getting married. Whenever your husband wants sex, it is your duty to give him sex. No matter what, it is your duty. And I remember sitting there I think I would have been married at the time, but as a young person, I remember sitting there thinking, wow. And she was really serious. She said, it's your duty. Your body is no longer yours.
She says there has to be a level of mutual respect.
The woman should not be withholding. The man should not be, man or woman, as was said already. The woman can be the one doing the raping. No one should be forcing themselves on another person, because if it comes down to that, it is definitely marital rape.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
The National Lead Institute was established in 2009 and was officially launched in the Northern Bahamas some months ago. The Institute's CEO says LEAD's goal is to ensure that every Bahamian who requires pre- and post-correctional facility assistance or is deemed at risk is supported and equipped to take on the world and make a meaningful contribution wherever they live. Tonight, he's giving this update on the program's efforts to date. Here is Jamila Mizik.
The National Lead Institute has been on Grand Bahama officially since July of this year and has been doing a number of initiatives on the island. Lead Institute President and CEO Troy Clark says they've noticed that there is a dire need for assistance with mental health.
And when we talk about mental health, we're not talking about mental illness, but just our emotional well-being, our social well-being, the way we cope with situations that we face that are unfamiliar to us. I've seen with the homeless population, there is a need to intervene, and we have this year, our theme is saving our communities. And we have gone out and reached in the various communities to just get an anecdotal look at what is happening in the homeless population.
He says as a community, it is important to help with the needs of the homeless population.
We have discovered that majority of the homeless persons do have some form of place to sleep at night, but they traverse the city of Freeport, whether it's for substance in the form of alcohol, cocaine, or marijuana. They don't have the skill set. Obviously, you see signs of some form of addiction or some form of substance disorder, but there is a need to develop a transitional home for that population of persons, whether you want to just feed them, house them, and then give them some form of mental health assessment to see what type of treatment is needed.
And as it relates to offenders returning to the community, he says statistically, 95% of those persons will return home, which is why the organization is always working to prepare them for the return to society.
One of the main things that we are focusing on is for the violent offenders and for those who are given alternative sentencing and those who might be given bail, that not only monitoring, but we are advocating supervision, because in this country there's no supervision of offenders who are on bail. There's just monitoring, and the Bahamas is basically, according to our research, the Bahamas is only, I could say, only country that does electronic monitoring without supervision. And when we talk about supervision, that means the offender would come to an organization such as this. He will get the necessary screening, assessment, and necessary treatment. It doesn't say if he is guilty or innocent, but that supervision, along with monitoring, enhances the probability of he or she not reoffending while they are on bail.
Jamila Missick, ZNS Network News.
The Grand Bahama Home and Daycare for the Aged and Children's Home is in need of help. Tonight, the founder is appealing for assistance to restore the inside of the home that was damaged during Hurricane Dorian. Rumiko Knowles has more.
Grand Bahama's first intergenerational center providing love and care to elderly folks, and many of the children on Grand Bahama is in need of help. On the outside, the building looks fine, but on the inside, they are in need of major renovations.
We've been making a plea for the past 2 years since Hurricane Dorian, actually since Hurricane Matthew, with damages and trying to get the elderly back into this building.
Currently, the elderly persons residing at the home are staying in the preschool located at the rear of the building. Founder Agatha Thompson says it is uncomfortable, and with the winter season approaching, it is even more unbearable.
We need to get them back into this building. We need to get them back where they're comfortable and warm in the bathrooms and the kitchen. Everything is designed for them. In the back, that building was designed for infants and toddlers. So you can imagine how uncomfortable that is.
Unfortunately, they were unable to get access to the services available from NGOs after Hurricane Dorian because of their insurance coverage. Since then, they have managed to repair the roof and the outside structure. And while some persons have helped with supplies and monetary donations, she is appealing for more assistance.
We're in urgent need of plumbing because we're finding out now that all the old cast iron pipes are still in the building, so all of that have to be dug out and new PVC pipes put in. All the electrical have to be redone. The kitchen, and we have 6 bathrooms. All of those have to be entirely redone.
The purpose of the home is to provide a warm bed, hot meals, and nursing care. If you would like to help, there is an account available at Third Dimension store on Logwood Road.
Mr. Black at Third Dimension and his family, they've set up an account there for us. So with materials, you can just go there, no matter how small or how large, $100, $200, $300, $3,000, $30,000, $100,000. We need it all. We need to get those elderly. I'm making an urgent plea. We need to get them back into this building.
And although she is making an urgent appeal, she notes that many persons have assisted them along the way. And for that, she is grateful.
And we would like to thank, if it's not too early, to thank Maudalena, Miss Debbie Archer from the Albert Miller's daughter, and we have Freeport Bible Church, Pastor Kyle Maycock and his assistants. They've assisted us so far. Maitland Cates, of course, have always been there for us. And we've had, from DEFCO department, we've gotten some donation, which is just a drop in the bucket, actually, for the work. And now that we have stripped the building, as you can see, now we can see exactly what needs to be done.
Rumiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. There's still more news to come right after this break.
Come on down. Now. Come on down. Now.
Plan to have your Thanksgiving lunch or dinner at Off the Deep Edge Restaurant, Suite number 19 Peel Street. Call 352-1664 or WhatsApp 807-3400 to book your table.
Your trust is paramount. By believing in us, you believe in the best. Thank you for trusting in us to provide you with a superb customer experience and for trusting our products. As we celebrate 5 years of Alive, I look forward to many more years of innovation and leading the industry with our products and services, all to maintain your trust.
There's something so special and genuine about putting a smile on someone's face during a difficult time. It's one of those feelings I reflect on most during our 5-year anniversary. During the pandemic and the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian, we worked in your community to provide relief in any way we could. We look forward to spreading the joy to you, whether it's through community events or customer-focused solution. We're here for you. Thank you for believing in BEST.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Reconstruct, so show me emotion. Hey, wine and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A local learning institution preparing to expand to the island of Abaco soon. Ruthnell Technical Institute has been a part of the Grand Bahama community for 30 years, preparing young persons for careers in the technical and industrial sectors. Come December, a new campus will open in Cooperstown, Abaco. President Fred Delancey says a registration drive is in progress.
On December 11th, an event will be held in Cooperstown to officially introduce ourselves to the Abaco community. That's in Cooperstown, in North Abaco. Now, 2 programs we're going to introduce to Cooperstown, to Abaco, will be one will be a youth intervention program, basically. Now, that program is designed to facilitate young people ages 16 to 18 who are not in school for whatever reason, basically. And through this program, they'll be exposed to various technical skills training while simultaneously being prepared for the high school diploma, along with participation in personal and professional development classes and activities, basically. And the second program is actually the technical certificate program, which I just explained, which prepares residents generally for jobs, careers in the technical industrial workforce.
The investment costs a total of $30,000.
10 years ago, we went into Abaco, and we promised the young people in Abaco that we will be coming there to try and help solve some of the problems young people are facing in Abaco. And because of Hurricane Matthew, Hurricane Doreen, and the pandemic, we weren't able to do so. But now, I think we have the opportunity, because we have located a building in Cooperstown, and the building is now being prepared, the opportunity now to basically expose these young people in Abaco, fulfilling a promise, to make sure that we can help them uncover their hidden skills and talents and probably eventually make them into responsible and productive young people.
For over 40 years, Santa's helpers have delivered thousands of toys to children throughout Grand Bahama. However, its founder, Vicky Marital, experienced a health challenge that resulted in the program being streamlined. This year, Marital says she wants to come back in a bigger way, particularly given the fact that many families are experiencing difficulties after Hurricane Dorian and the global pandemic.
Due to a fall, about 18, 20 months ago or sometime, I broke my hip, so I've been out of work when it comes to working for the children. And last year I helped Dudley because Santa's helper still had a bit of money left. But the well has run dry, so we don't have any money to rely on. So I'm appealing to all those people that I came to see in those many years who's always been so generous with either money or toys. We prefer whatever you prefer to give us. And we really need your help this year. I would say that probably you're looking at about 4,000 kids. Things are bad and times are hard. And the worst I've ever seen in the 53 years I've been in Grand Bahama.
Partnering with Santa's helpers is Dudley Sade from Reach Out Youth Organization. He says that they are counting on the public support to help brighten this Christmas for the children within this community.
I can remember the first time I met Vicky. Vicky gave me over 250 toys. And at first I asked Vicky, you sure all these toys for my program? And she said yes. And from 2009 till today, I'm here assisting Vicky Marital. But I'm still asking everyone in the wider community, please don't forget Vicky. Let's don't forget our kids. And let's see if we can make them have a good Christmas this year.
Whatever you do to help Outreach Ministries and Dudley and I and Santa's helpers, you do for the children of this community. Remember, that's your future.
Now, if you are able to donate toys or funds, you can contact them at 441-1229 or 443-5345. And now our resident birthday boy, Jay Philippe, has your check on sports.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. The Grand Bahama Amateur Athletic Association is scheduled to host a track meet during the first week of December. Romiko Knowles has the details.
An all-distance meet will take place at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex on December 4th in honor of Anita Doherty.
We'll be honoring a lady that is more than just an athlete, a person of academia, former principal of the Bishop Michael Eldon School, and a lady that has impacted many lives, not just in Grand Bahama, but throughout the length and the breadth of the Bahamas. And I feel like Miss Anita Doherty is truly a woman that is worthy of this honor and a woman that is worthy of praise.
This would be a tip-off to the track and field season, first event for the year. We know in the last season or so we had a rocky season because of all the things that's happened across the world, but we look at this opportunity to give the kids an opportunity to kick off the season, test out their training, and participate in odd distance events.
The meet will begin at 10 a.m. Here are the age groups invited to take part.
Age groups are under 7, boys and girls, under 9, boys and girls, under 11, boys and girls, under 13, boys and girls, under 15, boys and girls, under 20, boys and girls, and open category.
Honoree Anita Doherty says it feels great to be recognized in such a way.
I have a little granddaughter who is very athletic, but there has just been no sports for our young people. And so I am so happy that this is really going to kick off the track season here, and also to give our kids the opportunity to participate. Our kids need it.
The organizers are calling on all alumni and corporate Bahamas for sponsorship as it promises to be an exciting event.
We're going to make it exciting to give back because you know Anita loves excitement. So we're calling on the PE teachers. We're even calling on readiness to produce a mixed relay team. You know, I could see Romiko Knowles right now putting it together. I could see him on the backstretch right now.
Yes, I will be there. In spirit and in truth. Romiko Knowles, ZNS Total Sports.
And that's all I have for you in sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Park and Shop downtown Freeport is having a Thanksgiving and pre-Christmas sale, 25% off store-wide, excluding all underwear and red tag items, November 25th through the 30th, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Pandora is having a Black Friday sale. Save 30% from November 24th through the 30th. Shop Pandora this holiday season and save.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with ZNS to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
Hi, I am Corporal 3230 Perez Demerit of the Traffic Division, Grand Bahama. You can prevent a serious traffic accident by practicing safe driving. Here are a few traffic safety tips. Obey all traffic signals and traffic signs. Wear your seatbelt at all times. Reduce your speed and drive with due care and attention. Pull over to answer your cell phone, send a text message, or attend to any distractions, such as kids, pets, reading the newspaper, or eating. Finally, do not drink and drive. If you plan on drinking, use a designated driver. After all, it's all about creating safer communities.
So put me together, friend.
King of the North is back. Power 104.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Arthur Balfour, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your support. And on behalf of the entire news team, we'd like to wish our very own Jay Philippe a special happy birthday. Continue to enjoy. That's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a wonderful evening.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, COVID booster shots on the way. Travel tips for the holidays, foreign reserves holding firm, and the men's battle for Atlantis underway. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. The holiday season certainly shaping up to be a good one for the Bahamas, more specifically its top industry. And this as it welcomed additional airlift this afternoon with the inaugural flight of Virgin Atlantis landing at the Lynden Pinley International Airport. The excited crew and passengers getting the true Bahamian experience from tourism officials and other stakeholders. Jiminita Swain was there.
Scores of excited travelers getting a grand welcome to the Bahamas, having traded in frigid temperatures for a much warmer one as a part of Virgin Atlantic's inaugural flight. While there was no customary water salute as the airline declined it, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper and his team made sure to welcome the latest edition with a Bahamian flag and, no doubt, a Junkanoo rush out. More than 100 passengers made the flight. For the aviation minister, Virgin's arrival could not have come at a better time as the country continues to rebound from the effects of COVID-19 and the slowdown in international travel for the past 18 months.
And it is indeed a pleasure to see Virgin Atlantic join the growing number of air carriers that are restoring connection between travelers and the warm, welcoming people of our country.
Visitors by air typically spend more than cruisers. Cooper says with the relaunch of tourism, the main focus is drawing in as many visitors as possible through these strategies.
Goal is achievable through many avenues, chief of which are assertive marketing, creating greater demand for travel to our destination, and most importantly, increasing airlift with partners like Virgin. As such, we thank Virgin Atlantic for the partnership with our destination at such critical juncture in the economic development of our country.
The minister sees these coming months as crucial, but the country remains optimistic. British High Commissioner Her Excellency Sarah Dixon excited about the interest in the destination.
It's really good that we've got a flight coming from London that if you add it to the British Airways flights that are already here, you've got Virgin Atlantic twice a week, British Airways 6 times a week, that's 8 times a week to Europe. Hasn't been like this in a decade, and London's a gateway, so you're going to have people coming from all over Europe, all over the world, through London to the Bahamas.
The United Kingdom is the Bahamas' third largest source, and Virgin Atlantic's Vice President of Global Sales, Lee Haslin, and meeting passenger demands.
So what better aircraft to fly to the Bahamas and to Nassau than a 787 with 31 upper class seats, 35 in premium, and of course our economy delight. Our customers want experiences from their holidays. They want to relax in resorts, but they want to try something new every day, and the Bahamas offers that to our customers.
Now, passengers will have the opportunity to come to the Bahamas on twice-weekly flights offered by Virgin Atlantic. Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Now, the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, the busiest times of year for the Lynden Pinling International Airport, but Nassau Airport Development Company President and CEO Vernice Joaquin says she and her team are ready.
This holiday travel period, we're projecting that we will look a lot like we did in 2019 and early 2020, which is really good news for us. Hotels are telling us that their occupancies are approaching 2019 levels. In a couple of instances, I think they're projecting they may actually do better than 2019. So that's good news for the airport, obviously, because people have to come through the airport in order to get to those hotels. So we pay attention to what's going on with tourism. We participate actively in those discussions about, how we get ready for all these people.
As for the most part, passengers are compliant with COVID-19 protocols.
Everybody in the terminal is required to wear a mask, whether you're arriving or departing. I mean, that's just the policy. We continue to have all of our sanitization stations so people can get their hand sanitizer and do all those things. We still try to enforce the social distancing or physical distancing between 3 and 6 feet. It's not practical really for 6 feet, particularly if you're queuing to check in or go through security and all of those things. But the NAD duty supervisors are very diligent. Airport Authority security officers very diligent. But people coming into the terminals that they all have a mask on and those kinds of things. So we've gotten in the habit of enforcing the rules.
Well, in the case of those of you spending the holidays abroad, just keep in mind you won't be the only one, as a surge of travelers are expected to put some airports back at pre-pandemic levels. So before jetting off, here's what Health Minister, the Honourable Dr. Michael Darville, recommends.
Well, we all know if you're vaccinated and you come in contact with an individual who's COVID positive, the possibility of you being infected with COVID-19 is real. And so for the Bahamian shopper who's moving back and forth borders, my advice is to ensure that you keep your mask on. Make sure you get a good quality, high-grade mask, and make sure you wear it, particularly when you are in public places that are enclosed. Secondly, the studies have clear that individuals who wear their masks, there is a 53 to maybe 55% chance of not getting COVID if you're exposed to COVID. Likewise for hand washing. It's very important to wash your hands and sanitize, and social distancing has also proved that if you properly social distant, you are at less chances of getting COVID-19.
Well, that brings us to the latest COVID numbers, and what we can tell you is that all 15 of the country's new COVID cases are from New Providence, 9 of them showing a history of travel within 14 days. That gives us a total of now 22,696. Hospitalizations increasing by 1 overnight to sit at 16. 5 of the sick on the intensive care unit. Tuesday, November 23rd, also accounting for 11 recovered cases and 296 RT-PCR tests, 3 of them repeats. Well, in related news, COVID booster shots to be distributed next week, but not everyone's to get the additional jab. Here's the Health and Wellness Minister on who should once the rollout begins.
Planning to roll out the 3rd dose for individuals who are immunocompromised. We have been reading the CDC reports, and we realize many countries across the world is offering the booster shots. For that, we are definitely looking at it in our consultative committee. But at this particular time, the final stages are being put together in order for us to launch the 3rd dose for immunocompromised individuals while we beef up our vaccination campaign throughout New Providence, the Family Islands, and Grand Bahama, so that residents everywhere will come forward and get their vaccinations as soon as possible.
And this in light of the very real possibility of a 4th COVID wave here in the Bahamas as countries like France wrestle a 5th.
Platform for that is being done as we speak, and so hopefully this week or early next week we will launch that platform. There are some people in the country who are at high risk. We are concerned about the possibility of a 4th wave, and those individuals who are at high risk, we would like for them to get their 3rd jab in order to protect them, to prevent them from being hospitalized and the possibility of demise.
Well, still to come, the Prime Minister welcomed to the newly reopened Bay Street Straw Market with open arms, and detectives called to the second homicide this week. We'll be back right after this.
Tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Spreading Christmas cheer
to everybody, whether far or near.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC's Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
It's in our name, fried chicken. It's our thing. Others may try, but we have the original. We put the extra in extra crispy. And our spicy secrets in everyone's mouth. So if we want to make the best chicken sandwich, we just need to put our name on it. The Kentucky Chicken Sandwich. An abundant triple breaded filet, premium mayo, and pickles, all on a buttered brioche bun. The best chicken sandwich had to be KFC.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Christmas wishes still come true with a little help from Bank of the Bahamas. Deck the halls this Christmas with the lowest consumer loan rates in the Bahamas. Celebrate and save money by switching to a BOB mortgage or consolidate debt to lower your monthly payments. And for the grown-up kids, BOB offers great rates and terms to make your dream car affordable. Celebrate and save this Christmas with BOB, your bank of solutions.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Prime Minister taking a minute Tuesday to tour the newly reopened Bay Street Straw Market, accompanied by the Health and Wellness Minister, the Honourable Dr. Michael Darville, and Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, the Honourable Obi Wilchcombe. Prime Minister Davis says he was happy to see the glow of excitement on the faces of the vendors who can now restart their lives. Vendors have had to endure a 20-month stretch of unemployment due to COVID-19 restrictions. However, a number of safety measures have since been implemented. Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis emphasizing the importance of fair and respectful treatment of all workers during his meeting with members of Trade Union Congress yesterday. The Prime Minister committed his government's partnership with union stakeholders to advance workers' concerns across the country. He also revealed that his administration has agreed to establish a decent work country program with the International Labour Organization to benefit employees, called for economic patriotism and pledged his support for workers becoming employers. Mr. Davis further advised that a new policy would allow union members to become justices of the peace in order to enable them to provide more effective and comprehensive services to their members. TUC President Obie Ferguson thanked Prime Minister Davis and his government for the action they have taken to respond to some of their current challenges. Well, the Davis administration confident that given the uptick in tourism numbers, the country's foreign reserves stand firm. That coming from Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honourable Michael Halkitis, who, referencing the central bank's recent economic and financial development report, noted that as of November 1st, external reserves stood at $2.57 billion.
We have regular consultations with the monetary authorities of the central bank, who have indicated to us an uptick in what they call the real sector, meaning funds being generated from the economy. So we're very confident in those reserves.
The Broadcasting Corporation's Executive Chairman, Paiswell Forbes, wrapping up his two-day visit to Grand Bahama today. He paid a courtesy call to the Minister of Grand Bahama, the Honourable Ginger Moxey, at the office of the Prime Minister in Freeport. It was during that meeting that he shared his vision for the BCB. Now, while ZNES maintains its mandate of informing, educating and entertaining the Bahamas, Chairman Forbes' vision is to raise the corporation's standards as well as introduce new initiatives. ZNES's new executive chairman was also a guest on the David G. Talk Show, aired on the ZNES radio network this morning. In news from the police, a double shooting in an inner city community leaves one man dead, another fighting for his life in hospital, and police investigators on the hunt for the gun-toting culprit. Police Press Liaison Officer ASP Audley Peters telling reporters on the scene that it was after 9 last evening that they were alerted to gunshots being fired on Quackle Street.
The preliminary investigations reveal that two males were standing outside a residence talking to one another when they were approached by a lone gunman who discharged his weapon in their direction, hitting one, injuring both, and one was fatally wounded. We appeal to members of this community who may have any information in respect to this incident or any recordings to forward them to the police so that we can make our progress with this incident. But we can say that the weapon that was used is a pistol, and a number of projectiles were found on scene.
Both victims believed to be in their mid-20s, both residents of the area.
What I want to say at this juncture is that some persons may seem discouraged. I ask you not to be discouraged because the police are having successes in ridding our streets with firearms. Last week, we were successful in getting 4 within the week. And that is a result of us getting information from members of the public. And we want to encourage the members of the public to continue to give the information to someone you trust.
Now, ahead of the holiday season, police are issuing this warning.
Take all the necessary precautions as you traverse the community, whether you're shopping, whether you're visiting friends, whether you're going to bars. Take all the personal safety practices that we've been sharing with you in the past, and so that you could be safe and your families could be safe and you won't suffer loss in any way.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
The inaugural Women's Battle for Atlantis tournament was a rave success, bringing together tourists and locals alike for women's college basketball.
We started Battle for Atlantis. This is the 10th year, so we started it in 2011, I think. And it's been significant because we built the battle and we've been able to attract really good top schools in the men's basketball year after year, and they bring a huge amount of fans and family with them, so it's good for our business, good for sports tourism in the Bahamas as well. And this year is the first time we've added a women's tournament, so it's 2 tournaments running back-to-back here in Atlantis. It's huge for tourism. I mean, you know, we've invested in Battle for, like I said, 10 years, and the returns from it are significant just in terms of guests coming to our resort for the event, but also coming after. I met a guest and his wife here earlier this week that had been here. This is their 11th Battle, time for Battle, because last year we didn't have a tournament. And they've been here 26 times in that same time period at Atlantis.
The event continues this week with the Battle for Atlantis men's tournament being held from the 24th to the 26th of November. For more information, visit www.atlantis.com. I am Danielle Bodie, and this is Tourism Today.
As a professional graphic artist, I work from anywhere in the world. When I travel, I try to keep up with my paperwork and bills as much as possible, utilizing NIB's ESS, or Employee Self-Service Portal, to submit my monthly payments and to upload my contribution statement makes life easier. The portal is pretty easy to use too. The NIB representative who showed me how to use the portal, she was patient, friendly, and knowledgeable. I used to fill out my contribution statement manually and visit an NIB office every month to make payments. But now the ESS portal allows for the entire process to be completed online in a time-efficient manner. Like, yay, thank you, that's done. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Join the family. When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Value and quality supermarkets have all your favorite brands and no limits. Muller's cut macaroni, 16-ounce, 2 for $3.79. Hunt's ketchup, 32-ounce, $2.79. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 89 cents per pound. Yellow onions, 3-pound bag, $2.89. Pork chop ends, $2.39 per pound. 15 VAT-free items in this week's specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Students over at the William A. Pratt Center for Girls receiving some wise words from a special visitor earlier today. Deputy to the Governor General, Her Excellency Cynthia Mother Pratt, stopped by the Fox Hill facility For a brief chat with the teens, the Deputy Governor General shared inspiring stories of her childhood, life, and career during a meet and greet. The students not only eagerly asked Her Excellency questions, but also presented the Deputy Governor General with a token of their appreciation for her visit.
And so I've come here this morning because I know that you will, when you leave this place, you're going to make us all proud. Why do I know this? Because I too was down in the gutter at one time.
Her Excellency vowed to stay in touch with the school, leaving these final words of inspiration to the students.
And I want you to hear me this morning, Willamette Pratt. It's not where you begin, it's where you end. You must want, in as much as Ms. Greenslade and the other teachers try to instill in you, you must want change. You must want to become somebody in life.
Meantime, the deputy to the Governor General has been immortalized in the story of a Bahamian author's new book. Poet and novelist Tyrone Sawyer presented Her Excellency Cynthia Pratt with a copy during a courtesy call at the office of the Governor General today. The book, entitled Harborough, The Finding of Sam Holbert, tells the story of a boy coming of age in Dunmore Town, Harbor Island. Her Excellency lauded by the author as one of the most inspiring and motivating figures in the book.
I'm so honored because you serve actually in two capacities. One, as the acting head of state for our country, which humbles me to present it to you, but also as one of the players on the prairie back in 1967, who the character sat on the side and watched play. So now you're being all the legend and the woman now meet face to face, and I hope that we accomplish that with this book.
Well, men will be the first ones to reveal that when it comes to relationships, they always seem to get a bad rap. Charles Fisher explored ways on how to change the picture.
I think men should be equipped with more skills in dealing with problems, situations. When there's a breakdown, and for men, anger, conflict resolution, that elevates whatever the situation we find. One of the things I've noticed, and when my mind go back to some men in the prison who have committed what society would say heinous crimes. And there are three things that I've noticed: drugs, alcohol, and anger issues.
Lots of factors can cause this, but can it be hereditary?
I'm wondering in my mind too if it's a learned behavior based on our environment. There are certain skills we lack. Nobody taught us. You see what I'm saying? How do we improve the relationship? That was never taught us. All of us had to learn based on whatever that environment is, based on our reading. Others who got an opportunity for further education. So when you look at it, in my opinion, if the majority of us as men grew up in an environment where there was conflicts and nobody taught us how to deal with it, so I think it was passed down.
Having that macho control power doesn't look good.
It was a thing to say, well, boy, I'll beat her down or I'll slap her down. And even though I never perpetrated gender-based violence and I never believed in it, and if I hear, example, on the basketball court in the sports field, wherever, and I hear men perpetrating, even just in words, I'm able to say to them, I'll go to them now and I'll say, hey, you know, that isn't right. I don't support that. Hey, we cannot agree with that. So, yes, it is a macho thing where we want to feel, and to me that's all about a low self-esteem. Because if I have to talk this and say this and even carry out the act to feel good about myself, then I think as a male, myself and any of us, we need to really do a serious mental check to see if this is where we are. This is what we need to do to get attention, to be in the crowd.
Three main factors can lead to a better relationship:
spiritual, educational, and economic empowerment. A person may have all the education in the world, he may be empowered economically, but if he don't have no spiritual values, then it really means nothing. Because after everything else, then what? Even though most of us may not profess Christianity per se, but we still grow up with spiritual values. We grew up with moral values, and that guided our path. I grew up not drinking and not smoking, but still there are other things that we're doing. But at the end of the day, you still was not going to convince me to go and violently hit somebody or go in the shop and steal and, you know, all of these other things. Because why? There were spiritual values, there were spiritual principles that were planted in me as a child.
And yes, this has a trickle-down effect.
How do you think a child going to go to school in the morning when he or she sees his parents rowing and carrying on? That affects his entire day. And we as adults don't even think about it. And then we wonder why when they go to class in the daytime and they can't concentrate. Because why? What is going on in their head? All in their mind is what they just saw with their parents or some adult. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey, it has a great effect on those children.
For ZNS Network News, I'm Charles Fisher.
Well, on the other hand, many women going through menopause may be unaware there are some foods that can actually help keep symptoms at bay. LaDawn Davis tells us more in part 2 of her series on women impacted by menopause.
I definitely considered menopause. I've not had a period for more than 12 months.
Not having a menstrual cycle at all could be a telltale sign of menopause. It's a testimony nutritionist Shay King is not afraid to share. In fact, the 54-year-old mother of 5 says her journey through menopause seemed hereditary, as her mother experienced identical symptoms.
I started with one of the symptoms with irregular heartbeats, you know, what they refer to as palpitations. For me, because I watched my mom go through menopause, and we took her to every heart doctor known to man at that time, because we thought she was dying of a heart attack. Lo and behold, at the time, she was 49. She started to experience menopause. And so for me, when I started to experience those palpitations, well, one of the things I did do is I did go to my primary care physician, check it out, make sure that I wasn't having a heart attack. And then I knew that I had started dealing with the symptom of menopause. For me, what I recognized was my busy schedule caused me to become very stressed, and stress is another onset to blow up the symptoms of menopause. It has an impact primarily because most of us are not aware that we're going through menopause.
Shay says when women realize that something unusual is happening, they must do their research before seeking further medical treatment. The popular advocate for women's health and living revealed that some leafy greens help to ease some of her menopausal pains.
Kale, spinach, broccoli, even Brussels sprouts, because it's high in vitamin K, it's high in fiber, and these actually helps to mineralize the body. And so when we look at even bone loss, these actually are high in calcium, and it gives the body nutrients to help to minimize the symptoms. Another food is avocado. If you are a fruit lover, lean towards avocado when it comes to menopause because it is high in fiber. It also has a good source of protein as well, and is considered a mood food. And so because a lot of women are suffering with these mood swings and anxiety, avocado actually helps to calm you.
With a few of her daughters now in that childbearing phase, Shay gave this health tip to younger women.
Menopause is something that is going to happen, and you definitely want to become proactive and start to eat better. You want to start to minimize things like alcohol and refined sugar. You want to look at your diet because, again, I say it plays a major role in how you transition through menopause.
Tomorrow, we will share with you the story of a man in his 50s battling andropause. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the Bahamas extending condolences to the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the passing of their former Prime Minister, the Honorable Sir James Fitzalan Mitchell. Sir James was 90 years old. In a release, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis lauded the elder statesman as a giant on St. Vincent's political scene, one whose death brings to an end an era in that island's national life. This considering Sir James was the last surviving parliamentarian at the time of St. Vincent's independence on October 27, 1979. The Prime Minister thanked Sir James for his public service and contributions to the important work of CARICOM through regional and functional cooperation.
Imagine what it would be like if there wasn't a referee.
That's why we have a referee to make sure that we all play fair. As an independent regulator, IRCA has been working with consumers and service providers since 2009 to ensure that the regulated sectors are well managed and that everyone's interests are fairly represented. That way, we all get to play on an even playing field. IRCA, improving lives through effective utilities regulation.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
Showing up is in our DNA. When we opened our doors 5 years ago, we introduced Bahamians to a higher standard of service. We provided an option for one of the most critical services that people use to stay connected with their loved ones. After that, we kept showing up for you with innovation, excellent customer service, and in your communities where you needed us the most. Thank you for choosing us to lead the Bahamian technology revolution.
Alive is a team of dedicated people who are here to serve you. I've been with the team since the beginning 5 years ago. And the part that stands out the most for me is the way we've always come together to provide the best possible service for you. We strived on being there when you need us and to delight when you least expect it. Thank you for being part of this journey. Happy anniversary.
Tragedy on the island of Abaco, where police are reporting a traffic fatality in the area of Arches Boulevard, Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Based on what police have shared with us, a gray vehicle was traveling west on Bay Street when the driver lost control and crashed into a utility pole. EMS responding to the incident found no signs of life. The victim was rushed to the Marsh Harbor Clinic, where he was seen, examined, and pronounced dead by a local doctor. The matter is under active investigations. In more upbeat news, the Thanksgiving holiday bringing a boost to Family Island tourism numbers. Eleuthera is said to be full to capacity this weekend as Americans enjoy what the Isle of Freedom has to offer. In fact, tourism's general manager in Eleuthera, Jacqueline Gibson, says compared to last year, this year's holiday season will be epic.
You'd find the majority of travelers would come through North Eleuthera, and a good indication of the amount of visitors that come this way. The rental cars are used mostly, and there is a parking lot. And on many days you would see dozens of cars driving in this direction as far as Cape Eleuthera Resort. So throughout the island, I believe that visitors will be staying. The hotels that are open and looking pretty good. The Airbnbs are really full for the most part and doing well.
Exuma also booming with visitors for the Thanksgiving holiday. Tourism manager Peter Williams Jr. as this preview.
This U.S. holiday usually marks the start of the busiest season here in Exuma. Arrivals have been constantly increasing during the past several months. Increase forecast with the expected return of Air Canada in mid-December. Some of the major hotels are fully booked, while others have high occupancy.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and standing by with that is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Thank you, Makishla. Outside of our studios this evening, we are under mostly cloudy skies, temperatures 73 degrees, a relative humidity at 56%, east-northeast winds at 12 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,020.7 millibars, that is 30.17 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 68 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Turtle Key, Marsh Harbor, a little warmer at 70 degrees. The Berry Island, 72. Alice Bimini, 73 degrees, 72 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 73, 73s, also in Black Point, Exuma, and Kemps Bay, South Andros. Fresh Creek in Central Andros, 74 degrees there, 74 also in Outer Sound, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey. Georgetown, 76 degrees, 76 in Ragged Island, Clarence Down Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, 78, Ackland, 78, Matthew Town and Agwood, 79, and the Turks and Caicos Island, the warm spot tonight at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tower King, and the Paint Setter. For all areas tonight through Thursday, which is tomorrow, northeast to east winds to speeds around 15 to 20 knots, choppy seas once again at 4 to 7 feet. So caution flags remain in place through Thursday for all areas of the Bahamas. High tide will take place at 11:59 tonight with a low tide at 5:56 tomorrow morning. And as we take you into Friday, in the northwestern islands, the winds become light and variable ahead of the cold front, which we expect here on Saturday. Details coming up later in the newscast. State seas, they're going to be 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. Low tide on Friday, 5:56 in the morning. High tide at 12:19 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands on Friday, also a reduction in the winds, easterly at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Holly gray, your boat needed bailing out. Yeah, that sailor man sound. Holly gray, your boat needed bailing out. Yeah, the sailor man sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the rudder on your head. That's the sailor man sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the rudder on your head.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Wait, that's you?
Girl, don't be calling my name in public like that. What you saying?
Hey, radio, why you here?
I come to get my car license.
Yeah, but you don't have to be here?
No?
No, you could just go to My Gateway. My Gateway is a fast, easy, and secure way to access and pay all government services online.
So what you do?
I went to mygateway.gov.bs, registered with a government-issued ID, and bam, I was done. I scheduled an appointment, and in less than 20 minutes, I was straight.
Oh, shoot.
BTC spreading Christmas cheer
To everybody whether far or near.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
This portion of the news brought to you by Genuine Care, keeping you home while you're away. This is ZNS Total Sports.
Nothing says college sports like a good old-fashioned tailgate party. Welcome to sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Day one of the Battle for Atlantis men's basketball tournament getting underway today at the Imperial Arena at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort. And game one certainly was a thriller as the Michigan State Spartans took on the University of Loyola Chicago Ramblers. And this one would go straight down to the wire. The Spartans trailed at the break by 5 and fell behind by 9 points before rallying to take the lead and send it to a thrilling finish. Backed by the play of Malik Hall, the Spartans used a 16-5 run and took the lead for the first time since the first half on a driving layup from the junior captain. Ramblers would take the lead back late in the second half, but in the end, senior forward Marcus Bingham took a feed from junior guard Tyson Walker for an alley-oop with 4 seconds left, lifting Michigan State to a thrilling 63-61 win over Loyola Chicago in the first game of the men's Battle for Atlantis tournament.
These two guys were phenomenal, but our point guards, we struggled, and that's going to fall on the head coach. You just can't turn the ball over like we did. I mean, I'm not saying we could have won going away, but we could have won the game easier than we did because it wasn't very easy, and it just a shame some of the turnovers we had.
The play was for Tyson, and then I think he read it and came off and seen me wide open, and I just went up and caught it. And I looked at the shot, I looked at the clock to see how much time was left. It was 3 seconds, and
you stopped
the rest is history.
Look at the clock.
No, when I was on the rim, I looked up.
People were born yesterday. I mean, you jumped in the air, you looked at the clock and said, I think I'll dunk it. So you multitasked, in other words.
Yeah. His former graduate assistant is Loyola coach Drew Valentine, who spoke about the opening game loss.
I still love this group. I still believe in them at a high level. Some guys stepped up and made some big time plays today. And I think we're going to get some really good film on some guys that, in this moment that didn't make the right decisions, both offensively and defensively. So we're going to grow, we're going to get better, but I'm proud of the fight that our team has. I'm proud of their grit. I'm proud of how they stepped up and made that thing a one-possession game.
Obviously, the tailgate party was a major success. Head and food of beverage here at Atlantis, Michael McDonald, on putting the event together.
So we really wanted to go big for this one here. And again, being the 10th anniversary, it was really important for us to do something different. We wanted to expand the offerings. We wanted to go bigger this time and see what guests would want to do. Instead of setting inside, why not set outside as well? So we put up the big screen TV, a huge LED wall, and the guests just loved it. And the weather was perfect for us.
Over at Bazaar, their hoops action continuing in the game of the day yesterday. J2 Schumacher had 19 points and 10 rebounds. Cedric Milner Jr. added 18 and 12 as well, as Toledo would hold off Tulane 68-67. Despite never leading after the first 2 minutes, the Green Wave had a chance to win at the end, but Jalen Cook missed a jumper with 2 seconds left, and no foul was called, much to the dismay of Tulane players and coaches after he fell to the floor. Cook led the Wave with 25 points on 11 of 21 shooting Action continues tonight at the Bahama Resort. And that was a look at sports. A quick check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
PrEP is for people who are HIV negative and are at risk of contracting HIV. When used properly, PrEP can provide a high level of protection against HIV, and it is even more effective when it is combined with condoms and other prevention methods. PrEP has been revolutionary for HIV prevention, but not enough people know about it. It is important to spread the word about PrEP and encourage people to have this conversation with their healthcare provider. For more information about PrEP, contact the Bahamas National AIDS Program at 242-604-9060. Get informed. Make the right choice for you.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Nature-based tourism supplies almost $50 million in revenue for Androsians every year. These priceless resources will continue to provide renewable benefits for thousands of people for years to come, as long as we take long-term action to preserve what's rightfully ours. The natural environment has played a vital role in our culture and economy for generations. Let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Public service announcement is brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with this channel. Log on and stay on. As parents, we will not always be present while our children engage in online learning. Ensure that your child is getting the most from the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training's learning management system. Here are some tips to help you establish your child's online learning routine. Number 1, designate a workspace to reduce distraction. The bed is not recommended. Number 2, each morning ensure your child is alert and devices are ready to log on. Number 3, periodically check in on your child by calling, texting, or FaceTiming to ensure that they are participating in their online classes. Number 4, communicate with your child's teachers to stay updated on your child's progress and online attendance. Number 5, remember, it takes a village to raise a child, so you can create a WhatsApp or other social media group with parents to share relevant information pertaining to your child's online education. Education is important. Log on and stay on. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with this channel.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather in the tropics, with 6 days remaining in the tropical cyclone season, there's nothing there to report to you at all, but we still have that weak front boundary, which is now exiting the southeast Bahamas, leaving behind an area of high pressure, which will continue to keep the winds nice and brisk for the next couple of days. But then we'll see a reduction in those winds on Friday, just ahead of the arrival of another frontal system that will reinforce these cool temperatures that we are currently enjoying. Tonight, we're going in for mostly cloudy, somewhat on the cool side with a low temperature of 69 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be breezy in the morning, otherwise partly sunny, but we will notice a reduction in the winds during the late afternoon hours. 79 degrees will be your high temperature. Your extended weather forecast keeping you in the 70s, just close to the 80-degree mark on Friday. But another frontal system comes through on Saturday afternoon. You'll see those temperatures holding once again in the 70s. But those nighttime temperatures, they're going to be nice and cool right through the 5-day cycle cycle taking us into Sunday. We'll see a little rebound in those temperatures come Monday of next week, and that will hold into Tuesday. But on Wednesday, we have another reduction in those temperatures as yet another frontal system will move into the area. So we're starting to see an increase in the frequency of those frontal systems. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. But before we leave, we go to this next story that should be a lesson for all you shoppers out there. Two of our colleagues went shopping for the upcoming holiday, and as Kelsey Johnson explains, their names are definitely crossed off the shopping list.
Yeah, I have $50, and I need to purchase $50. Make it stretch for a meal for Thanksgiving. Any advice you have for me or where to go?
After witnessing senior reporter Desmond Sanders calling his mom for backup, I knew this trip to the grocery store would be long. The assignment, a word both he and news director Oprah Roach are familiar with, purchase grocery items to fix a delicious Thanksgiving meal for two on a $50 budget. Sounds simple, right? But was it really that easy for these two broadcasters? Desmond's mom gave him clear-cut instructions. Opal also called in a little backup, her Auntie Masha.
Turkey wing. The drumhead part of the wing. Right? Because we could stuff that. We could still stuff that.
Okay.
That part. Okay. As opposed to buying packaged stuffing, we could buy a loaf of bread, and we could toast that bread. We could mash it up fine, and we could add the onions and all that to it. So we could need some onions.
Okay.
Some sweet peppers. And we're gonna put some seasoning in that.
After they finally got it together, we made our way to the store. The canned yams caught Desmond's eyes while Opal opted to slice and dice the yams herself. She picked up two, showing Desmond how it's done. Competition was starting to heat up as they both strolled through the vegetable aisle, Desmond on Opal's heels, sneaking a peek of what she was throwing in the bag. A quick scratch to the back of the head, and Desmond was back to normal, waltzing through the aisle, probably with no hope in sight. Another aisle of looking. Finally, he grabbed 2 cans of pigeon peas for 1 pot of rice, and even though tomato paste is clearly marked on the sign, well, I'll let Desmond explain his part.
I'm gonna do some peas and rice with my turkey. I got 2 big onions here to spice up my turkey. I got some yams, and I got my garlic sauce.
If you think the rice was a hard sell, wait until you hear these two at the meat department.
Hi, y'all are getting turkey wings? Can I see them there?
In a small portion.
That's what you're cooking?
Yes,
okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Desmond.
This is good for baking.
Obviously, Desmond is confused and he knows nothing about the kitchen. I ordered the joint pieces of the wings and the drumhead pieces of the turkey. That is what I'm going to use for Thanksgiving.
That's what I want to do.
Desmond making sausage.
Desmond making sausage.
He does not know what he wants. He wants it for sauce.
You making sauce?
Sauce.
No. I didn't want it for sauce. I want it for bacon. Okay.
Thanksgiving sauce.
Hold on. Rewind and come again?
Isn't that in what you ordered? No. What you ordered, Desmond? I ordered $20 for it.
Desmond, that's what you ordered? How did you want it cut?
In a small portion.
I guess the South wins. For now, that is. But back to the regular scheduled shopping program. Let's catch up once again with Opal, see how things are going with her. Desmond's back to the rice, guys. Guess what he's putting it in? A few more items here and there, and it was time to cash out. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Here's the menu. There's no turning back now. Who do you think will chef up the best meal after a long shopping experience? Find out more on Grocery Store Battles with Opal and Desmond. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
Well, we're really hoping they leave us a plate or two for the afternoon team after chefing it up. But that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And as we celebrate our 44th year of television broadcasting, it feels great to be your home. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Since early 2020, the global focus has been on the COVID-19 pandemic, but HIV/AIDS is still here. So how has COVID-19 affected our response to HIV and AIDS? Well, joining me to discuss that and more is the director of the National HIV/AIDS Program, Dr. Nikia Forbes. Good
Hello,
to see you
Mr.
on the Read Factor again.
Always good to be here with you, and we're here in person.
We
post COVID-19.
we are. It's
Yes.
been a long time. Well,